every single week I tune on to the TV, all I see him is up the Mark's butts and just and I'm like, that's the freaking straight edge. And bro, here's the part that really bothers me. No heel is allowed to bring up his MMA record. Now, bro, if they were smart, they would have a heel go down that road and say, bro, you came back because you got your butt kicked in the MMA. But obviously, they've all been told they can't go there.
Looks like you're doing some research over there, Vince.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something for you. Keep talking.
I got you. Well, we'll get to Vince's research here in just a minute. All right, let's talk about Matt Riddle again. He opened up about CM Punk on Going Reside. He said that guy sucks at fighting. He's a bee to work with in the back. He just belly aches and complains. This guy complains about getting multiple world title runs. That is accurate. I've heard from my boys that still work there that he's a headache. And this isn't a storyline. This is the facts. So it is what it is. So your comments on your thoughts on Matt Riddle's comments. He's always been one of those people that's he's unfiltered because he's probably inebriated in some way. So he's going to give you that type of real. What do you think, man? Cool guy, super cool guy. I've talked to him before, interviewed him. Super funny, cool dude.
Granted, inebriated or not, I don't think he's afraid to say what he thinks and feels. Mostly because he is a shoot badass and if it's gonna get to this, gonna get here, I like my odds, and so that gives you an unwavering kind of confidence. So I dig that. Absolutely. As far as comments, I don't know Punk too well, but based on how he's been interviewed and things like that, that's kind of a mentality I guess you can say he may have had. I don't see it. I never really saw it, but I can see why people might think it.
So here's the funny thing about that EC3. So a lot of times when I bring up the inebriation part because you're completely right as far as I'm going to say what I want regardless if I'm influenced or not. For sure, because there's a good chance that I'm going to walk out of here standing tall if it's between you and I. I mean, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, do you want to? Have you been influenced chemically, or from a liquid standpoint enough to just say, you know what, man, I want to stir. I'm Matt Riddle. I want to stir up some stuff. It's about time for me to get back in the news because stirred up stuff about Goldberg, I've stirred up stuff. So it's like, is it time for me to get back into the to limelight? Which it's interesting. It's interesting PR to a standpoint, but what do you say about that when it comes to Matt Riddle, in spurts? He jumps in and says something that's like, oh, now it's a big blow. The topic blows up and people start talking about it.
I think it's great business strategy. I will keep it when I feel like I need to get something on the radar or get talked about, which I don't often. I'll just talking to I'll just say something crazy and then I won't talk about it. And so Riddle has that ability, and I think it's a great strategic play. Sometimes too is what level do you want to take it to as far as animosity with what or whom you're going to talk about? Do you preface in advance with them, hey, I'm going to get a little buzz, I'm going to say you're a big head, is that cool? And they're like, yeah man, whatever. Yep. So I don't know if Riddle necessarily did that, but I know he's well, control the narrative. I'll just say something about working here, and I'll say something about a top guy here, and then I'll just say whatever I want, and it's cool. And then people will talk, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Vince, what's
you have to be unafraid of the feedback and the mob or the dissidents or the pros and the cons speaking upon you, and you just have to let it go.
Yeah, be authentic. Yeah, you could tell that's the thing with Riddle, man. He's an authentic cat, man. You know what I mean? Just he's him. You know it. You know what you signed up for. You know what you're gonna get, and so that's the type of guy that Riddle is, and I respect that, man. I'm cool with that. Vince, what you say, my man?
I listen, man, when he says stuff like this and he said stuff about Goldberg in the past, I love it because the guy's got to be able to back up what he says. Like, you know what I mean? Which is really why I love it. I mean, he's talking smack with Goldberg and talking smack with CM Punk. And, you know, EC3's right. I mean, if he ever ran into one of these guys, I think we saw it with Goldberg.
Yeah, he did run into Goldberg backstage.
I don't think he's got a problem. Like, I honestly don't think he's got a problem, which
and it's clear because you know good and well, Vince, that if someone's beefing with someone, they're going to approach them, and it's going to be some type of what you got. You ready? Let's throw some blows, right? You ready to throw down? What did you say? You said that to me, but Goldberg didn't do that. Like, it was one of those things. Like, yes, he did something. He did a little something. But Riddle didn't back down, you know, and he didn't recant what he said. He doubled down. He went 10 toes down with it, and so you got to respect that.
Yeah, I think Goldberg was kind of caught off guard because somebody bowed and kissed the ring and built on a fake perception from fake fighting that he's like a badass. And then Riddle's just like, all right, man. It's almost like a kind of like, I don't say punk kid, but a punk, you know, young 20-something and like an old man at the gym, and they're beefing over like, you know, the Smith machine or something. And the old man usually gets his way, but he doesn't this time. And he's kind of like, yeah, well, okay, yeah, you remember that. Lesson learned, kid. And like walks off, and the kid, whatever. I'm gonna do my upright rows now.
See, I think on the other side of that coin, you know, guys, again, I didn't see CM Punk's run. And all I heard about was, you know, the straight edge and the pipe bomb and the this and the that. And all I know is every single week I tune on to the TV, all I see him is up the Mark's butts and just and I'm like, that's the freaking straight edge. And bro, here's the part that really bothers me. No heel is allowed to bring up his MMA record. Now, bro, if they were smart, they would have a heel go down that road and say, bro, you came back because you got your butt kicked in the MMA. But obviously, they've all been told they can't go there. But Chris, if you actually went there and CM Punk turned around and said, yeah, okay, great, bro, no problem. How about you and me have an MMA fight? You would have people believe that they're going to have a shoot MMA. See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. So it's like, oh, we don't want to let anybody know CM Punk got his butt handed to him. But you can use that to your advantage because you can really make people believe, oh, Drew McIntyre is going to have an MMA fight with you know what I'm saying? But the fact that we can't mention it,